Afternoon. My name is Frankie Robertson, and I'm here today to share written testimony provided by Raymond A. Jetson of MetroMorphosis. He's the Chief Executive Catalyst for MetroMorphosis, an organization based out of Baton Rouge. Good afternoon, Chairperson Sharon Hewitt and members of the Senate and Governmental Affairs Committee. My name is Raymond A. Jetson, and I serve as the Chief Executive Catalyst at MetroMorphosis, where we believe in the value of lived experiences and that the people closest to the matter are closest to the solutions. I served in the Louisiana legislature for 16 years and had an opportunity to speak to the issues and the interests of the people in my district because there was one drawn that the people who cared about the issues I did could vote for someone to give voice to them. A little less than 10 years later, I participated in the first process for my time in drawing maps. The redistricting effort is twofold. It is to make certain that there is representation and that there are people who sit in seats who look like, live with, and think like the people that have elected you. But it is also important to make sure there is influence in other districts, which can only be achieved without cracking and packing of communities. What happens in this room and in the chambers upstairs will impact Black and brown lives for a decade. This is a serious moment. My prayer is that you will grasp the responsibility and weight of this moment. You have an obligation to those who, years from now, will look back on this moment to see how responsible you were with the powers you have been given by the constituency of the state. This matters. It matters to children yet born, and it matters to my ancestors and those among us who have toiled to make a difference in the world that we live in so that we have an opportunity to do the things that we do. Today, we add our voices to those of our community acknowledging the systemic nature of the issues faced by Black communities that are a direct result of policymaking here in our state legislature, in Congress, and at the local level, created by and sustained by redistricting and the inequitable political districts from this public process. Louisiana's structural shortcomings have a disproportionate impact on Black populations and populations of color. We have an opportunity to impact long-term structural change that can address the maldistribution of resources provided to Black communities by ensuring adequate distribution of political power and representation at every level of government. Black Americans make up over a third of the population in the state of Louisiana, and yet are only represented by one of the 6 state representatives that are elected. This is a direct result of decades of unfair maps that have weakened the minority vote by packing Black citizens and communities into a district.
Sorry, you're
District
running out
2?
of time.
I will finish. Thank you.
If you could wrap it up.
Excuse me?
If you could wrap it up, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. District 2 stands alone as the only majority minority district in the state, and Black Louisianans are cracked into districts 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, where their votes, input, and voices are weakened by white majorities. It is because of this cracking and packing that since 1965, Louisiana has sent 45 white politicians to Congress. I stand in solidarity with advocates today calling for the addition of a second majority minority congressional district. For decades, we have felt the tremendous impact inequitable district maps have on Black communities that have weakened the minority vote and input. We are here today to demand fair maps that allow for fair representation. Now is the time. Thank you for your time and for your leadership.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Williams.
Good afternoon to the board. My name is